Alright, have a look where we are today. Company in Melbourne, Victoria. We're going to go see what this is all about. We're going to pull some joysticks and fly a helicopter. Well, the wind's not too bad, so I don't think it's going to get cancelled. Pretty good. Let's get in there and get this done. Alright, here we are at PHS in Melbourne, Victoria. I've flown a light aircraft. Don't ask me what plane it was, but it was just a light aircraft. And I thought, how about flying a helicopter? And lo and behold, my old mate here says, "Hey, I can help you with one of them." And he goes, "I've got something you can do for that." So he hands me a voucher to go and fly one of these things. So we all know that helicopters fly low and slow and steady, and you can take off vertically, and I naturally would think it's a hell of a lot harder to fly than a plane. So this is what today's all about. Seeing how hard it is and me giving you a rundown of my experience. So this is the hangar. This is where they keep everything. Yep, we're looking at you. And this is their little tea room out here. They give you all their supplies. You can have your coffee. You can even make a toasty or get a cold beverage.
Hang on, where's the VBs?
There was decaf in there. There's how easy they move and manoeuvre them and just push them out. Just get them out on these little wheels.
Isn't that amazing? You just pull the tail down a little bit and it puts them on their little wheels.
Yep, just pull down a little bit. I reckon you and I could lift that together. Helicopters. Range in all different sizes. Here she is. Make sure you get some fuel in it, mate. I don't want to run out. Don't be a Matt Wright. One day here in Melbourne. Over there you see all the little planes. There's a lot of flying schools around here. You come here, you get your licence in pretty much any aircraft. Oh, there's one taking off now. So before we got to this stage, we had a bit of a session in the rooms, so you get to know what the controls do, to run over the basics, so you're not just thrown in the deep end. Oh, that just cut. Before we get to this stage, you have about a half an hour session in a room just with you and the pilot, and they go through the controls, what they're called, what they do, when they're going to be in control of it, their call signs, make it very clear. You've got control of the cyclic and the, what was the other one called again?
The rotor?
No, the collective.
There we go, technical.
That's it. So yeah, you run through everything. You get the gist of how it's all going to play out when you get out there. So they don't just chuck you in these helicopters and try and talk you through it as they're flying. You do a bit of a session beforehand.
So it's a bit of a theory lesson, half an hour lesson before you sort of get up there and get in amongst it.
That's it. Yep. And mind you, this is the second time round I've been here. So we did go here a couple of months prior, and another mate of ours flew his session first. It was very windy, and I said to Mark, "Yeah, you go first, and if you survive, I'll go second." I'll tell you what, the helicopter took nearly an hour to come home because they were in such a headwind they could barely move. His flying experience wasn't that enjoyable. Although he spent more airtime than me, but it was like, oh shit, are we actually going to make it home? She's doing her basic checkovers. Yep. Hot rivets are still in. Yep. So your foot pedals control that. That's where pivots. When she sees she grabs hold of it with her hand at pitch, that's your foot pedals going like that, spinning left and right.
Yeah, but that also changes the angle of the rotor.
Yeah.
Yeah, good cheers.
Yeah, if you heard that, port and starboard. She took her door off on her side.
Oh,
Good.
So,
so she can jump out real quick.
yeah, and leave me to it.
Why the hell did she take her door off?
Because it was a pretty warm day, and she goes, "Oh, I get too hot." So she just took it off. So I couldn't quite hear what she said, what that piece of wool was in the windscreen, but Seuss came up with an idea that it was the last granny they hit. And their wool jumper got jammed into the windscreen. Good idea. So here she's holding the cyclic.
Her joystick.
It wasn't holding mine.
Oh, there you go.
And you look at her thumb, and she's touching a button there, she's talking to the tower. So she's got control of that. I didn't, and she's making sure we're right to go. What's that? She's slowly going to pull up on the collective.
Making sure your seatbelt's tight.
Yeah. Talking through to the tower. I was looking at the fuel gauges going, yep, we've got enough fuel. RPM's right, temperature's good.
As if you'd know.
Oh, she was telling me, where's the temperature? What's it saying? Yeah.
Okay.
And here she is just doing a little test, making sure everything's working. Doing a little hover around. She'll spin around, face the other way. I can hear what she's saying in my headset, but of course doesn't pick it up on the camera. Yeah, she'll be spinning those foot pedals. So she's spinning that around, and the plane's just coming into land now. You'll see just over that bar there's a plane coming in, so we just wait for that to come in and slow down, and then she'll say, right, we're off, before the next plane comes in. It's quite a little busy airport, this one, Moorabbin. You'll see her collective on her left hand there, pushing her thumb on the button, saying to the tower, right, we clear to go. And he goes, yep, go for it.
So that thing in her left hand, that's basically just the throttle, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Collective.
Oh,
Collective.
sorry.
Collective.
Yeah, it's a collection of throttles.
I kept calling it a handbrake because that's what a handbrake is. And there's a golf course right in front of us there where the trees are.
Yeah.
There's the city, Melbourne City, to your left in the middle. It's the Melbourne City.
Kingston Green Golf Course, that is.
Well, there's two. There's one there, and there's another one somewhere around the corner.
Oh.
There's actually another one close by. So that one probably is your Kingston, what you're saying. And we do fly towards the water there, and we fly along the water for about 20 odd minutes, go up towards Rosebud Pier, and that's where I was flying, so I don't video a lot while I'm flying. Or actually none at all. So it was great flying over the beach. We saw horses riding in the water as well. I start taking the controls when we get closer to the beach.
So
there you go.
So she didn't want you in control over the roofs of people. Is that what you?
Oh, probably a good idea. Yeah. Let's wait till we're over water. Yeah. I did ask the fella, has there been any accidents? And there was actually one accident, but not due to pilot error. It was the student, or i.e. someone like myself. They were a little bit further over to our right in the grasp section there, and he pulled the cyclic stick too far and they rolled over and hit the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone was okay and not hurt, but that's how easily it can be done. Some of you guys might have more experience on the choppers, and you can correct us through your comments.
Now the question is, would you do it again?
I would. Yeah. Yep. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. I wouldn't call it scary because it's such a light aircraft. So you've got to get used to the wind pushing you around.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's your experience in a helicopter.
Yeah. Thanks, Zeus. thanks for that. Much appreciated.
It's all right. I'll send you the bill later.
I'm sure you're trying to send me to my grave. Unfortunately for you, I survived.